Okay, I want to say welcome everybody, welcome to a new video here, art video in Firealpaca. And please excuse me, I have a cold, a little bit of a cold. There we go, one intro. Now you know it's like the weather's changing all over, even here in the tropics, so it's getting a bit colder. A bit chilly now, and we're in Firealpaca today. And the reason we're in Firealpaca rather than Critter is because I want to show you some features in this, okay, as well as we go along. So, as I say, please do excuse me. I think what we'll do is we'll dive right into this. Critter, okay, I want to show you. I've shown you this before. Critter, in another video I showed you this, but on another channel. But on this channel, I've not actually shown any videos on this feature. This is Critter. So this is a Firealpaca, okay, Firealpaca. There's two art softwares that I love to use mainly, and that's Critter and Firealpaca. They're both free. Firealpaca is also packed with a bunch of great tools, and it's lightweight compared to Critter in some ways. But excuse me, Critter is great for art, and it's also very good because you can do animation much better in Critter too. But Firealpaca is very good, and it's great for making comics too. And with Firealpaca you also have this 3D setup. Like, I'm not going to take you through all of the features here, but up the top here we have a bunch of rulers and stuff, and what they basically do, if you've got an off setting, they're currently set to off, but if I turn one on, you see that you can draw, and it goes along, it follows the lines, and you can click this little dot here, and that will then set it so that when you move your pen or mouse or pen, it will reset the angle, so I can click again, and then I can start drawing in the other angle, you see. And it works the same for any of the rulers. When you want to turn them off, you just click off. When you want to choose one, like now I've chosen another one, okay, this grid type one. So now we're getting horizontal and vertical lines, okay. And when I want to reposition that, I can, yeah, click the, well, some of them you can't do that, so I can't reposition it, but like that first one we just had, like, yeah, I click that one now. If I don't like this angle, I can click that little dot up here and return them, you see, and I can really like try and get some perspective based off of that. I could even work some lines and work these really well to do some different stuff. And as I say, you can turn them off. Like if I want to turn the snap off now and just go freehand again, I can. So, you know, that's that. The next one is like this one, where you click 2 points. Like I click one here and then move it and then click another point, and it gives you two to make. So if I make another point about here and then here, you see now it joins those up, and it makes like a horizon, you know, vanishing point, whatever you call it. They've got their own names, these different ones. I say that this one's called the vanishing point snap. The next one's the radical snap, which I'll show you. The radical snap is this one. So I don't like that angle, right? So I click on this black point up here and move it around. Here you can now click and do this, you know. Is it radial, radical? I forgot what it's called. But you get that kind of thing going. The following one is actually for circle snaps. If I keep that there, we can actually draw some circles as well. I didn't have to have it there. I could have moved it elsewhere, like here, and just done more here. You know, that's really cool as well, you know. As I say, but it's a really good software, Firealpaca. As I say, it really is a good software. I'll turn those off now, these rulers, okay. Oh, excuse me. Yep, and just make a new layer by clicking over here. I will do more detailed nice tutorials on this as well, I promise, when I can. It's a great software, and there's so much to go through, but the funny thing is it's doable. Like, I could probably go through all of this really well. I mean, my setup here, I don't have everything visible at the moment on the in terms of all of the things visible here dockers or what you want to call them. You can have reference images too. What's this brush size thing? Where's that? Oh, it's over here. Yeah, so that's kind of similar to a Photoshop. How you can do that? You can choose brush sizes, I guess, for quickness. But then again, you know, you don't really have to do that. I can just choose those from the bar over here and the opacity. So what I'm going to show you just briefly in this one, okay, is this this other one here. Oh, there's more. There's a couple more. Oh, this one's a curve one. I won't show you that because it's kind of confused. I'll just show you briefly. It just makes a curve thing. So when you draw, it follows along the curve, you know. But I was going to say to you, like, yeah, let me just go there. I think you can reset that. You just reset it. Okay, so it's quite, you know, useful really, because you can just follow the line now, you know. Can I move this around? Oh, I can. I can change that. That's great. It makes it like a, what do you call it, a widget sort of thing. Change that as well. That's pretty cool, I must say. Flip it as well. Pretty cool. Oh, I can rotate it as well and size it and rotate it. It's pretty cool actually. I mean, the amount of stuff you can do is really amazing. I can follow that along now, see the line. Then when I'm finished, I can get rid of that, and there you go, you got your line. It's very, very good control. Okay, so taught myself something there. You got freehand, obviously. You got different types of control with your brushes and stuff. Like you can do different shapes, obviously, like lines, polylines, rectangle, for example, a rectangle like this. You see, different kinds of things. Okay, all the basic shapes that you'd usually be able to do, circles, curves, or whatever, you know, like that. So stabilizer settings for the globally, and then we've got it for the brushes as well. Stabilizers, you can have it like all the way up to 40, and it's like it will. If I go to like 20, you'll see when I draw. I'll go back to normal freehand. See, it slows everything down, so I can do that nice controlled lines, and I won't have too much shaky stuff going on, you know, when I'm using my pen. I'm just using the mouse there, just quickly, just to show you. But I'll draw with my pen usually. Each pen, each brush, you can have two colours and flip which one's going to be the front or the back colour. You've got the eraser mode for every and any brush you choose. Nice colour selection here. You've got the brush size and the opacity. You can also choose your eraser, obviously, too, and then you can go up to here. It's also got a the same features for it, like the opacity and size, but it's also got a thing up here for soft edge or hard edge, and that's pretty good. Although usually I just use my brushes as I use eraser versions of the brushes, and that will by clicking on there, and then I'll use like the spray one, for example, and that makes it like a soft eraser anyway. Other things, you got eraser, obviously. This pencil type, I call it a pencil, but it's like a pixel type thing. Move tool for moving anything on your layers. This shape tool which fills things in like that. Okay, different shapes and stuff you can do. Each object has their own set of features too, and amazing stuff like features. It's really, really cool. Fill bucket, obviously. Gradient tool. Different kinds of what you call lasso tools, like square, rectangle one, and then freehand. Magic wand tool. These other ones, which are what they called select pen and select eraser tool. So they're also ways of selecting, like the lasso tool, for selecting a certain area just to work within that. You got all the blending modes too. Don't forget for the layers. You got the text you can do, obviously. This operation tool, when you want to click on something and move it, or well, not move it, but just like do certain things, you can click on certain things. This is a knife tool, which is very useful for when you add comic pages. For that, I'll just show you. Even though our page setup, we didn't set it to the right size, but we just kept the basic one here. I will show you. Well, for example, I'll just open up a new project just quickly, and we'll click on, rather than standard, we'll click on comic and then go to OK. Now you've got your comic page, but what you do is you go up to layer and you go down to add panel material, and then sort your widths out of the lines and stuff like that. Just click OK. With the knife tool selected, I think it automatically goes into this mode anyway if you it selects this tool. But you just go across and you can just cut, you know, to make your pages. You can also hold down, yeah, hold down Control or hold it and then let go once you've clicked. You can get diagonal sort of angles too, like that, different things, you know. And there you go, you can do all that. You've got all these other features and stuff too, like if I turn this off for a moment, but you've got all these other features like where is it, all these different other things like effects, blur and certain effects, but you've also got these lines. Look at these cool like manga type lines, speed lines, and you can change the effects. You've got different shaped ones as well. It's really, really cool, I must say. Change the position and all that. It's just amazing, I think. You know, it's really, really is cool because you can do some cool looking art with that. You know, because I mean, unless you really want to draw all these lines in and stuff by hand, which I don't really always enjoy doing. Yeah, I think you can do some really, really cool stuff. Really. I want to try something just quickly. Actually, add panel material. Okay, to this. Just cut that a minute. I'm going to put one in here. So if I click this magic wand and just select within that area, will I be able to do it? Let me just see. Go into the filter, go to this one. How about this one? Yeah, okay, so it just works within that space. How great is that? That is amazing. Okay, so from here you can see what you're getting, right? So I don't know, I'm trying to, and I guess, you know, you can do, obviously do different colours and stuff too, you know. This is really, really good software. Wait till you see what I'm going to show you in a moment. Wow, this is amazing. Oh, this is giving you some kind of thing. Okay, update randomness. You can randomize things. You update randomness. So that's giving it an actual effect. Now if I click on the next one, I guess I can make it on another layer too. So making sure that reference up the top here is and we've got the tolerance to 1, but we've got the canvas selected. I guess layer should be selected. If I click layer, because we're just working on one layer now, so if I choose, I'm going to choose another colour just to show you. I know I would never usually do this really, but you know, I'll have red just so we can test it, and I'm going to try and do it within there. So let's turn it's concentrated. Yeah, you see, that's weird because now it's showing the whole thing, the layer. Maybe I should have left the reference. If I could say, okay, see. Oh no, okay, good. It's selected that area. Good, that's right. Now I go to select up the top and then click deselect. And we've got it right within there, you see. So now, and then I can turn down the opacity if I think it's too strong. You see? And we can do our action scenes and draw other stuff in there, you know. Or put that in as a background, as I say. But this first one I did wrong because I just did it on the same layer, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's good stuff, you know. I guess really the point is, hold on, if I just undo this for a few times. I guess really, right, if this is one layer, let's just work this out. Another way you could do this is you could, you know, every time just select an area and let's make 2 more layers, and I guess I could just do that. So let's imagine I'm going to draw something in here. Okay, just some really, that's too, the stabilizer's too strong. I'm going to turn it up to 0 again and go freehand. Let's just do a character. Okay, really simple. Within there, that is a character. Really, really simple. Okay. I'm going to just colour it in a moment, so hold on one second. If I go here now, deselect, go again, magic wand tool, no, see, I had to choose canvas, so hold on, deselect, yeah, it has to be set to canvas in order to do that. I guess if I was to choose layer, then let me see if that works. If I go onto this bottom layer, right, and go here, yeah, great, now it's just choosing from that, which means if I add another colour underneath, I can literally start to paint and it'll only stay within that area, right? Oh great, that's actually good. Yeah, so it's underneath the line art. And then what I can do from there is, I'll show you in a moment, I'm going to go over this really quickly, is I can probably cut out, you know, as well. Cut that out, so make that as one, you know. Well, what I'd probably do is I'll probably just merge the lines down with the colour layer, you know. So let's merge that down. Bam, simple as that. And that's there, see. So I guess now with that selected, if I make another layer behind them, we'll just choose blue and then go in with some with that filter and do parallel lines, whatever. That's okay. It's just within there, you see. You could put it above, you know, whatever. It's not very good, but I'm just saying, you know, just seeing what we can do, you know. Yeah. And then the same, isn't it, for everything? So, because we've got that set to layer for the reference on this magic wand tool, and the bottom line is the one with the panels, so I can just click here and just select it. It'll only select within that square, you see. So if you had it set to canvas at the top here, it wouldn't work. It's set to layer. And then when I go up with that selected, see, I can start drawing whatever I want to draw in there. Characters wise, this is, I don't even know what this is, but I can make it into something, you see. Pretty cool. I don't know what the hell that is, but I can see the power. I can see some guy, and if I turn that down, see, make another layer on top now. I can see what I'm doing. I can draw a little character in there, zoom in. Got your hand tool, and you get your colour picker here, by the way, at the bottom left, colour picker, and then you get for choosing colours anywhere from the scene. But then you've also got the hand, so you can move things, you know, like that. Zoom in, go with our pen, make sure on the right layer. Go back to the pen tool, and then choose this. Then you can always change the size of your image by going to edit and go to image size or canvas size. And I'm going to show you some epic 3D thing in a moment. But yeah, I can just have a character. Let's just do a simple character here. I'm not going to do anything crazy, but you know, this looks like a character to me. Yeah, some character here, some badass character. Not a very good piece of artwork, but you get the idea, right? Some character, you know. These are the powers, blasting around with the power. Something like this. I can get rid of my back one. It's just a rough thing. I'm just trying to play around, you know. Basically, I'm not going serious with this, obviously. But you know, you come in here, you know, do all your stuff. I mean, you'd take much more time and do proper art. I'm just doing a little thing just for fun here, just showing you, just having some fun. I get carried away sometimes, you know. You know, there you go. Choosing my colours from up there. Choosing my colours from up there. I don't know why I chose such a strong red, but you know, got your idea though. I can turn that down a bit. We'll move that down. Way too strong really, but okay, but never mind. Can still move that into place as well. We've got something wrong there. If I go undo. Yeah, the problem is now it's going to be like this. I'll show you something. If I really click off, see, and then just select this, and then I say I want to go to select and go to transform, and there's different ways you can do this. One, I can just drag it and stuff or move it around. Another one is I can hold down control and then click on the points, and you can like get some perspective. You can also rotate it. I'm letting go of control now, by the way, and you just hold it while you initiate it, sort of thing. But yeah, when I just drag this right out, you see now it's going outside of the lines. You see, we don't want that, do we? So what I go to OK, and what I do is deselect and click clipping, right? I was thinking of protect alpha. No, I think it's because we don't have it set up right exactly, but usually if this was a normal layer I'd be able to, because it's not, it's just a frame. I haven't saved it to a raster, but I'd have to save a new image to actually show you, but what I mean is you can cut it so that it just clips it off at the edges there, so you won't have that. Another way of doing it just for quickness though is I can just go over here and cut these edges off, you know. I select them and then pressing delete on the keyboard, selecting the edges. That's one way of doing it, but it's not the proper way you do it, you know, still going over the lines. Usually I'll do a clipping thing, so you know, maybe this guy's fighting that guy. So I'm going to delete those layers. Now we just have this, right? But what it is it's not actually on there. That those black lines are not part of the art, is what I'm saying. So it's like I need to go to File and Rasterize, and then go to OK. But what it does is it makes a whole new project of that. It's weird. So I go into the first one, close it off then, and don't save it. And now this is a rasterized version. So what I would do is, myself personally, is I would duplicate this layer, and then I would click on, let me turn off the visibility of both of them, so they're both off, okay? I'm going to turn on the top one now, just the top one, it's a duplicate. I'm going to go to this magic wand and then click this, for example, okay, this space here, and then press delete. Now you can see we've cut a window. If I deselect that now and then turn the first one on again, you can see, well, that behind is actually not the same thing, you know. So I'm saying that you could clip things, is what I'm trying to say. Like you could go, if I make another layer, maybe I can clip this. Let me see if I draw on this layer and it draws straight over, okay. If I go to clipping, well, I've done that back to front because you see what it's done, okay. You see basically what it's done. So we did that the wrong way. So what I should have done is, let's go back to our beginning, our first one that we had. Yeah, that's what we need to do, I think, yeah. So let's just see, okay. Let's take that back to the beginning. This is the very beginning, okay. So we've selected this square, and I'm going to go to select and go to inverse, and it selects all the outside of that. So first of all I need to make a duplicate of this layer as well. I think we could duplicate so we don't delete everything. And I'm going to turn off the visibility of the back one. And I'm going to press delete. So now all we're left with is the inside square, you see. So now if I make another layer on top of that, it's just going to draw within, hang on, oh, if I press clipping, yeah, it will be just clipped onto that basically. So if I turn on my other one again, you see what we got. We got that, okay. Basically, and then I can also merge it down. I'll do whatever I want to do when I want to do it, you know, with that. And I'm going to delete it in this case. Another thing you might want to do is go to protect alpha. But then that means when you're drawing exactly onto that square. So I'm just in there, yes. But what I'm trying to say is it's actually on that one. It's actually part of the square. If I show you, let me turn the colour down a bit, so the brightness, you'll see. This is actually separate from the whole thing. It's a copy of that square. So let me just show you again, right? Let me just go back to what we had. Okay, let's have a look. So clip it. Let's do the clipping version instead. So we're going over. It's another layer above the square. I click on clipping, and now they've got a layer above this square, which is the scribble, and I've clipped it down to be clipped to show only within this bit lower square, which is the square layer, okay. And then we have the far bottom layer, the third one, which is the whole thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to this with a magic wand. I'm going to choose the other one, the other square, and again, you know, I'm just going to, maybe you have to just go edit, copy, edit, paste, maybe. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Yeah, just copy that basically. So now if I turn this down, you'll see, yeah, that's another way of doing it. So I didn't have to duplicate the whole layer, you know. Now I can deselect, and we got this square. So if I turn everything off just quickly, or just I don't have to turn the scribble off, but I'll turn that off. You'll just see this is just a square. Now I should be able to make a layer above this. Can you change colour? No, you can't, but you can change colour as well, I think, can you? No, you can't. Okay, you can do some certain effects and stuff, but okay, yeah, I'm just saying, you can actually I should be able to set that to be a clipping one to that now as well. Also, my mistake. I've got to choose the brush. So I've made a clipping layer above this one now. So that's going there, and it won't go across there. Yeah, that's right. So that's right. If I turn this off, yeah, we got basically two clipping layers. You see, where this scribble is clipped to this square, and this scribble is clipped to this square. If I turn them off, the whole thing turns off. See, and then you got the background one behind it. So we could do whatever amount of whatever we wanted to it, basically. The only thing is, and I said I wasn't going to show you all of this, but the only thing is, what if we wanted to colour it? That's another question. So if I was to go make another layer underneath that, yeah, you see they're both going to be clipped to the initial layer. So I can put my colours underneath, and that's exactly what I want. So exactly, if I turn off the back, you'll see what I mean. Yeah, the colour layer is below the line layer, and it's clipped to the square, which is the base for this panel, let's say, of the comic. That's right, because I was afraid that maybe the lines would now only clip to the colour, and that wouldn't make any sense, you know, at all. You want the lines to be on top, then all the colours to be underneath it, and you can always merge them down, don't forget too, can't you, you know, there's one, but and then you've got the base below it, whatever that is. In this case it's a square shape, and they're clipped to just be visible within that. And then we've got a far bottom layer, which is this, and the way we got our squares is we just simply use the magic tool to select the squares. Like if I turn everything off just quickly, you'll see that what we have is, yeah, turning the visibility of everything off quickly there. Yeah, just keeping that. All we've got is this, see. I just simply went to the magic wand, chose hang on. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Please excuse me. Make sure you're on the right layer. The bottommost layer, and then the panel layer will be the bottommost layer. Okay. You just simply click in the square and go edit, copy, edit, paste, or use the shortcuts. And what that does is it makes a whole new layer, duplicate of just the area that's selected. So it will paste another layer with this square only on top, and it'll be in the right place and everything, you know, for you to work with and use as a base for your clipping, which will be above that. So that's basically that. If you follow my drift with that. I'd say a lot of different brushes and stuff. I've made a lot of my own brushes and stuff, as I say, you know. So let me just make another layer above that and clip that. So I can do that right above that. Yeah. I've got to turn the visibility on first, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, giving you different effect brushes and stuff, you see. What is this? So different ones you can have, different kinds of brushes. I like this one a lot. Where is it? The thin to thick. Thin to thick is what I've given it a name. Thick, thin, but it should be the second one down when you first get Crit, or it was for me. You've got this kind of like effect where it goes like thin and then thick. It's got nothing to do with the actual pressure or anything, but I found it cool when I first got it. You know, you might want to do that for some quick strokes, you know. Tapers off. But yeah, I'm not going to go into this too much. Let's just delete everything for a moment, make another layer, get rid of that. Get rid of our select by going up to here to select and then going down to deselect. And then just give it a fill with the bucket. A light greyish colour rather than a bright white. Going on to another layer now to start drawing. Because if you draw everything onto a background, then you're going to have problems, aren't you? That's the reason we have layers as well, not just for easy editing in general in colours and that, but also if I was to draw a tree with a blue sky behind it, and I wanted to move the tree, I'm going to mess up the whole picture, right, if I start to move it, so I have to have the tree on another layer on top, you see. Okay, so now, yeah, just showing you, I want to show you something cool, okay, so just briefly, and I'll show you more in another video, okay, but if I choose the pen tool, you'll see the options up here change for specific tools. I can choose this one, which is 3D perspective snap, and what you'll realize is nothing happens, so you have to go up to here to, where is it, add 3D perspective. Weird, right? And where is that under? Hold on, under snap, here, under snap, right? So these are the snaps, and you go to click that last one there, and then click snap, and go to add 3D perspective. From here you'll see this little image, this weird image thing, right? You can't click on it until you go down and choose the arrow, this operation tool. Now you can move this around. And do that too and everything. And what I usually do is I usually stretch this whole thing out to be the size of your canvas, right? Because that helps a lot, big time. Unless, please excuse me, unless you're doing a comic. So that makes a lot of sense right there, right? Because if it was a comic scene, you might want to have something different. And just for example, I think we'll do that. So let me get rid of that first to make that make some sense. I'm going to go to layer, add panel layer. It's only one so far. We'll have two again. I'm going to go to file and rasterize. Okay, get rid of the first one. You have to do that. So no, get rid of the first project. Leave this with one. Now I'm going to go into this pen, black pen. Go to, leave this 3D snap, the last one, 3D perspective snap, then go up to snap, go down to add 3D perspective, and I'm going to choose the arrow from down below here, like I said, move this across, and I'm going to size this to be within the panel that we've got there. I'm not going to make two just currently, we're going to have one. Now I'm going to double click on that layer, and you see what happens. We come up with this, and you say, okay, this is fascinating what we've got here. You realise when you click you can't really do anything, but you realise I can click on the square, the cube, or I can click on the base, what do they call it, a stage. They call it a stage. Another thing you'll notice is if I go down up on the left hand side, we have the camera mode, the select tool, which I've currently got, so I can select things, and when I choose them, you'll see the things change on the side here. You've got the box on the right hand side, you've got the stage. Let me just show you that quickly, okay? So it won't take too long to show you actually. Right click in, left click in, whatever, middle mouse, zooming in and out, nothing's happening, right? But I've got this move tool here too. I can click the move tool. You can't do anything really with the stage, so let me go back to the select tool, the arrow, choose the box, then go down to the move tool. When I left click now and hold, I can move this around. When I right click and hold, I can move it up and down. How cool is that? And when I move it, there's a shadow too. Pretty cool, right? You can't do a lot of detail like 3D like stuff proper, like with like 3D softwares with like textures and stuff like that and materials, but I think it's really good to have this. It's very good for drawing and setting up scenes. So that's that. I can also go down to show the composite canvas. If I click this now, look what we have. The background's turned grey. What is that grey? That grey is basically our square of our panel. You can even see the line around it there to show, see? So we're working with this panel of the comic, let's say. It could be the whole image, but I decided to make panels, didn't I? If I go down to this arrow here, it's going to be ground and object. If I press that, it puts it back on the ground nicely. So left click in and hold. Once you're in this move tool here, you can move it to any position, okay, far away or close. With a small stage you can make that bigger. Right click in and hold in, you can move it up and down, as I say. Don't forget we have our rotation tool here also, which is, again, when I click I can't seem to do much, right? But what you will notice is you have these toggles here up the top right. You have these two, and then the top bottom left, I can turn them, see? You see, like this. pretty cool, right? Get some strange angles, though, I know, but still. Another thing you're going to notice is let's go to the camera now. Okay, the camera at the top here. Left click and hold. And turn the camera in any angle you want to turn it. Okay, how cool is that? Middle mouse button, zoom in and out. I can roll the mouse wheel and zoom in and out. So left mouse button, click and hold to turn the camera around. Moving the mouse, zooming in and out, pushing up, rolling up. We'll zoom out. Rolling in, we'll zoom in. Rolling down, so we'll zoom in. Press the middle mouse button in like a button and move the mouse. That will also do the same as pressing the left mouse button and moving around. Right clicking now, okay, and holding, you can pan it like this, panning. So that's great. So you get used to those controls. A little bit different to things like Blender and stuff like that, and SketchUp, fair enough, but it's good, right? It's got a nice display of the X, Y, Z axis or axes there, but the thing is, they're not the same, as a Blender and stuff like that. Now let's go back and I want to just delete this layer. So let's go to the right hand side here. I'm going to go down to we have a few options you can see. Like one is to add a box, one is to add a plane, add a camera, or duplicate this, or delete it. I'm going to add a box. Where is it? It's over there. Okay, and we can see that it's added there. So when I click on them, you see that it switches to which one we're using. I'm going to choose this one and then press delete. You can also rename these. We've got the stage. You can turn off and on the visibility of the stage or the box. Okay, and it's very useful. So you can use this as a start point for drawing anything, basically drawing on top of this and using it as a guide, and then you can set the opacity to the level of transparency, visibility of the layer, because these are actually layered with these 3D things. Got horizon in the background there. You got, as I say, the each one has got features up the top here. You can see the X, Y, and Z. If you look on the top right here, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, they're all set to 100 currently. Because why? Because this box is sized the same size. If I we did delete the other one, right? Let me just check. I deleted it. Good. If I click on our box now, which I have, remember we have to use the select tool to click. But we've got, or click on the layer. But okay. So we've got the move tool. Don't forget to move things. But go in here. Oh, by the way, if you realise that you can't click on the other tools, okay, the other tools, for example, just remember that you need to click on the one again. For example, like this is the camera tool. I need to click it off. So click it on and click it off. Now that it's switched off, now we can choose the other tools basically. So the camera must be switched off. So you switch it off, and then as such, and then you can go back to moving stuff and stuff like that. Okay, with the other, you can click on the other tools. Because I was wondering why that was in the beginning when I first got it, Now going up here to the sizing. Okay, so let's look on the x-axis. I'm going to press. Let's max it up to 100 and 120. And it's longer. It's another 9. Sorry. Let's add 88 on the end. Wow, now we have a really long one. God damn it! If I zoom out there, you can see how long that really is. Oh my god! Turn that down back to 1 maybe. Okay, good. Hang on. So you can see. Oh, I'm changing the shapes of different things, aren't I here? Okay, so let's see. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's going to go there. Let's size it up on the other axis now. How about boom? Well, that's crazy. I'm zooming my camera out as well. So it's doing camera mode over here on the left. Maybe it's a TV or something, flat screen TV. Z-axis, we can also do something here. Oh, I'm making some kind of truck or some kind of building, right? So, wow, that's cool, man. It's even bigger than the stage, that's the problem. We can click on our stage and we can make that much bigger too. Boom, boom, boom. Make it massive. Okay, whatever. Press delete, whatever. Okay, resized anything, okay? So now, with this selected, we can also do different things. I've got the cube selected. You can see div num means the number of divisions along the long side and on the short side, and you won't always be able to do that for both sides if it's a perfectly sized thing. Like when you first add a cube, all of the sides are the same size. It's like square, right? But this one we do have a longer side because of the way we've sized it. So I'm going to click on, I'm going to just up that. Look, if I press up or down, it's going to add more divisions along the side, which is great for guidance what we're doing here. Right, and also for any, so for the stage or that. And on the other side, here too, see? So you can do that, and that's really good guiding. You can do it as many times as you wish. You can make a little grid and you can size it up so you can draw to make a house. You can really work out where the camera's going to go, and you can draw a window on the house or a door. Put your characters in there, really in there, you know. Now this is a big one. How about this? Okay, how about we add another cube? Now this is a little bit too small, right? Okay, hang on. Turn off the visibility of certain things too. But this one, it's all on one layer, all this, believe it or not. It's one layer. These are layers within the layer. But this is an image we're creating, and I can show the background, don't forget to, if I want to show for like reference. And I can change the size of this. Hang on, this one, right? Yeah, well, they're the same. And then I can change the size. So let's make this one 220, and this one 220, and this side 220. Okay, bit bigger now. Make this one a bit longer there, maybe. We just changed it a little bit, you know. And now I can go back to click off the camera, then click it off, then go to like turning or whatever you want to do. I'm gonna, oh, excuse me, put it at some more normal angle. Turn it around, maybe. Click on the move tool, move it around. I can literally hold the right button and move it up or down, or I can ground it by clicking on the down one there. Move it around there. You know, go back to my camera mode and zoom in, go right into the scene. I can imagine a character here. I can imagine it, maybe it's some shop or something, you know. You get used to the camera controls and you practice the buttons, as I say. Right clicking, holding to pan, don't forget left clicking or middle mouse button clicking, holding in to move, and zooming in and out is rolling the mouse wheel, as I say. There, okay, you know, and you can use that, and you can also break that down, don't forget. Check which is which by clicking the visibility off and on of the layers or naming them. Like this one could be named table, I could name it to table. This one, right? Could double click it and type table in here and save it if I wanted to. I'm also going to up the divisions for that a few times. So here, so I could work out just exactly where I want to put that coffee cup or tea cup on the table if I wanted to draw one in, or the height of a character, or the height of a door or window or anything within here. Once this is set, okay, I can just click OK, you know, OK, and now look what we have. It's just absolutely amazing. It's a layer. Look in the I can literally just move this around, which is not really what we want to do. You know, I guess I could clip that as well. I probably could clip that to something or other. So if I don't do that for now, but we've got it there where it was. So let's go there. Okay, where it was. I can literally go back to my pen. We've got the snap. If I double click on this layer at any time, it'll go back to that view, so we can re-edit the camera and turn the camera around. I can also probably duplicate that, can I? Yes, I can duplicate it. Meaning, because I've duplicated this now, if I go to the move tool, I can move this one over, probably stretch it. Can I stretch that? I don't think I can, but can I stretch it? It's a good question. I can either go select and then go to transform. Would that work? I don't think it would actually work. It should work. Interesting. There should be a way of resizing that. Let me see. I go to. Let me see. Select. Okay, select. No, I don't know why that's not actually working. I thought maybe I could, like, you know, I still could do it. There's a way, I'm just having issues with it right now. There's a way of doing this. I click here, maybe, yeah, that's the one. You've got to choose the move tool, exactly. So you see, so don't be fooled that it's just a thing. I can, oh, mind you, it is changing it a little bit, isn't it? But it's the same though. Yeah, I can drag that out size it wise, you see, to be at that length, okay. And then double click on this one. We'll give this another name as well, I think. Let's just rename it. So I click this little icon thing here. No, hang on. Right click. Can I rename it or what? Oh, well, I don't think I can rename it. No, it's just perspective, right? Maybe I can. I'm just not finding the way to do it right now. Perspective, yeah. Okay, so I guess you can rasterize these and merge them down, or whatever. But okay, so that's here. Okay, now I guess I can duplicate that at any time. I can double click that at any time. And for this one, we can move the camera. Let's do that another angle. Okay, let's say for example I want another camera angle. Go to OK. Now you look at that we got. See, amazing. How amazing is that? And I can turn down the opacity of these as well, make them more fainter, so I can just see what I'm doing. Then I can start drawing on top of these. You see, I don't even need to literally clip them in. I can just keep them that size anyway as they were. I can literally go down to my first layer, go down to my magic wand, set it to layer on reference, not canvas, click that square for example, go to edit, let me think about this, yeah, edit copy, edit paste, and it puts that above that, so it's underneath these two reference ones. Is that right or wrong? That's a good question actually, so you know what I'm saying, but it's like, okay, yeah, well I guess what I could probably do instead is probably just have them there for later. So I'm not going to do both sides, I'm just going to do one side for now, but I could probably make another layer above this one, right? A layer, and then clip that as a clipping mask. Yes, it will clip it to this perspective one. So if I turn these off for a moment, it should clip to the perspective layer. So I've turned the opacity up so we can see what we're doing. And I've chosen the pen, and I'm choosing the. You can see that the points have disappeared because it's not active now. I've chosen the other layer on top. So when I draw, it's just within there. You see. Choose a normal pen for a moment. I can do like a pencil sketch first with the blue or something if I wish to, and then do a black, stronger one on top. I could literally draw my table in. It could be rough if I wish to. Oh, this is another thing I want to say. Okay, this is amazing. Look, it's actually keeping to the lines. You see, it gives you a ruler. It's a ruler. It basically acts as a ruler. Is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say to you. It acts as a ruler. But you don't have to make it, if you don't want to follow that ruler, you just want to use it as a guide, right? You may not want to actually use it as an actual ruler. So what you can do, which is really cool that you can do that, but what you'll do is you turn it off. Hang on, let me just work that out. So it's clipping to that. This one now, I guess what I would actually do is, how would I turn that off? I totally forgot. Oh yeah, obvious. It's easy. You go up here to, you see where it says perspective snap. Just simply click it off, snap off, like anyone, you know, like any ruler. So when I turn that on, you see when I turn it on, you'll realise that the cube is actually active, right? Let me just try that again. So if I'm, yeah, now we're just following the lines of that. So if I wanted to follow the lines of the room, I'll double click on that. And I'll click on this, I'll click on the building behind it. I'll go to OK. Now you can see now this is stronger, right? But I'll turn them off so that they're both not active. So I go onto the layer there and I can just draw freely, okay? And I can just literally turn down the opacity of, of that layer, turn up the background, which is the same size, then draw on top. So I can draw a freehand. Why is it doing that? Hold on. Oh, because it's clipping, right? That's exactly why, because it's clipping. Okay. It's clipping, that's really, really weird. Okay. So... Okay, that's really weird. Okay, let's go back. I don't want it to be like transparent is what I'm saying. I don't want it to be transparent. So... Okay, let's see if I go to that then full on. Can I clip that to that? Probably can. Yeah, I can clip that to that. Okay. Okay, so that's the bottom one is the one that everything's clipped to, right? So the perspective layer is now clipped to that. So whatever the opacity of the bottom layer is of this panel, basically what we're talking about, not the whole thing, but the, as far as I know, yeah, that's right. Of what was selected, basically. So we selected that square from that panel. Then we made a layer. We've made this perspective layer clipped to that now. Not only is the same size. Now, when I draw on top, I'm not clipping to the perspective, this 3D scene, but I'm actually clipping to that. So I turn that off. We're still clipping within that. You see, just within that square. If you're with me, so I'm just clipping to that. Yeah, basically. So make another layer above the 3D perspective and clipping. It will clip to not that, but the layer above this 3D scene, and then this 3D scene which is below it, and they're both clipped to another layer which is below that, which is the square. Basically, is what we're doing, which is the selected, the layer which we had this selection selected on, basically. Okay, so if I go to deselect for a moment, see, then that's what I'm trying to say, you see, so that should if I turn the visibility off for that background too, and everything there you see as well, like, see, I turn it all off, that should still work. Yeah, it does, luckily. Okay, so I can turn down the opacity, as I say, of this, and we can do all that. So let me just show you something really quickly, okay? Well, I'll show you in a moment, actually. If I make sure I'm on the right layer, I can draw a table in there however I wish to. It could be a really rough looking table, whatever, see, some cabinet or something. I can draw a door over here. You know, you can do something much better if you've got time, you know. You can still work on different layers too, don't forget, you know, there. Do the window and use it, you know, really do your curtains or whatever you want to do there. You know, work along the lines the best you can. You've got all these other rulers at the top, don't forget, which you can also use to get nice perspective, other details and stuff you want to do in there. Clock up here on the wall, whatever it's going to be. Put your characters in, you know, when you draw them properly or whatever, you know. Doormat right there, I don't know, you know. And then what you do is when you're done, as I say, you can simply get rid of your perspectives, delete that layer, delete it, and there you go. You may even just start with the basic one first of all, like that. Turn that down, and then go on top on another layer. Go to clipping again, and start doing a really nice detailed picture or something. You know, nice detail if you wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn that back on and everything. Then you make your comics, you know, and you work it all out basically, and you can make your scenes. We've still got this one, as I say. I want to say one more thing. Well, I'll just do it in another project just to show you. Okay, file new. Just do a standard project. Give it a bit of a. I'm going to show you something. I'll create a background first. Okay. I'll choose two colours. I'll choose the blue and the green, and I'm going to go to this gradient tool here and drag down, or in this case I'll drag up through there. Okay, make it like that. You can make it gradient like that, you can do it like little, and let's say I'm doing that, okay, and let's say we got like some, choose the brush again, and if I choose like I'll draw some tree in the background or something, you know, some random tree. Select a colour by holding down Alt on the keyboard and then clicking anywhere where there's a colour. Like I'll choose the green by clicking there and then letting go of Alt. Then letting go of Alt. On Critter, it's actually you hold Control for that. I'm going to just start painting in the tree. I've changed the size of the brush to here. I'm going to choose a darker green as well, actually, to make that a bit stronger. Really simple. Okay. While I'm here, I'll choose one of these grass brushes that I've got here, turn it a bit smaller, lower opacity, and just go here. Do some grass. See, it's mixing up two colours there because I've got certain settings set for the brushes. You can do some really good stuff, as I say. There. You can do different things. It's really simple, right? Really simple stuff. I could even go to put some more detail on this tree just quickly while I'm here. Just put in some effects with some different brushes and things. Just doing that for simpleness. I'm not trying to do something amazing. It's just something simple there, to the point. Alright. And while I'm here, I'll give it some more little areas as well. Just not perfect, but I'm just doing that for some fun. Now let's imagine, okay. Yeah, right. If I go, just choose my spray quickly. Just make some clouds up here or something. Okay. We can even do a yellow. We can even do a bright sun, even like a yellow here behind the tree. Something like that. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. Could do a proper like glow. Work with the different blending modes too, if you wanted to. I'm just doing this really simply just for now. Merge that. I'm going to go to here, go to filter, levels, play with the filter a little bit. You can do different things. As I say, there's a lot of things you can do. Tone curve, whatever. I'm going to go with this just for now. Okay, go select. Okay, no. I'm going to choose the thing again. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to this up the top here. 3D perspective. It's not set to off, it's set to on. I'm just choosing it. Okay, and I'm going to go to snap and go down to add 3D perspective. So you've got to add it as a layer. It's a bit like adding a panel for your comics, like a panel layer, under layers. Now what I'm going to do is you've got to set this up first. So go to the arrow, drag this, as I say, bring that down to about the size of the whole canvas this time, and now we're going to go into it, right? So going over here now, going over to the perspective, 3D perspective layer, which is above this. Double click it, and we can still see the background. You see, because if you look on the left hand side, and it's sized the right size. If I go to this one here, it's show composite canvas. If you don't want to show that, click it off. Then go to your camera and set it all up as I already showed you, and you can work it. Okay, but for this situation, we're working from the canvas, so we're going to click on that again, show composite canvas, and I can move this and try and set it up. This could even be a character. I could change. I can't bring any actual models in, but I can arrange this in such a way, look, so that it moves within the scene and makes it like the right perspective. This could be a house or something, so you can make it like more closer to it just by zooming. I'm not sizing it or anything, I'm just zooming here for the perspective. You could move a house, you could maybe move it on the other side, maybe here. Move that horizon closer to the horizon that I've got. See the horizon line there, you can see moving up in the background. I can move it to like match it where the sky meets the ground, which is the horizon anyway. Just try and make it a bit like realistic, that horizon's so important. You can have more than one cube, you can shape them and do different stuff. I can also have planes and stuff too, in terms of, not aeroplanes, but I mean like flat planes. You can also, as I say, make this like a person. For example, if I click on this box now and change the number of divisions, let's say to, turn it down, it's doing all of them now. Let's change it's hard to understand the axis. I'm going to choose the y-axis and let's choose 300 and see how let's choose 400. 400, okay? And you'll see I'm going to zoom out a little bit too. Okay, bring that down. Okay, and from here, yeah, okay, that's all we need to do. Change the y-axis to about 400, 300 or whatever. Zoom in a bit if I wish to. Okay, click on the move or turn off the camera. Click on the move tool on the box, and then just move it somewhere you want to move it as well. You can have more. I can duplicate these layers, don't forget, and have more, and like move them 2 characters. Like one character would be standing here, and one character could be standing there. If I think the background's kind of a bit in the way, I can just simply turn off the composite canvas, or I can, in my normal view, I could make another kind of look to the background. Like if I click OK for a second, you can see it's actually one layer. This is the reason the left one, as I've already said in the other previous scene, the reason the left square shape is looking more clearer than the other one is because when I double click into this now on the layers, it's because I had that one selected. If I select the other one here, you see that the axis you can see the axis for this one more visible now, and rather not the plane. Depends on which one I'm using. See, I click OK. You can see now in the normal view that the right one is. Again, if I don't want to be using any snaps, you think like, as I say, if I make another layer above these, it's going to start snapping as soon as I choose the pen. It's going to snap to whichever one was selected. It's not going to snap to the other one necessarily, but it still is, isn't it? Here's just the angle. I'm not too sure if it is actually. No, it's not. That's right. It's not. It's just working with the snap of the right one. But if I didn't want that to happen, okay, I could simply as I say, turn off the snap by clicking off, and then I can draw freehand. Plus, both of them will both be visible now in normal kind of view. And another thing I can do also is I can turn down the opacity of this perspective layer as well, if I don't want to see it full strength. Another thing I want to say also is you can make, if I turn off that for a moment, the visibility, I can make another layer above this layer, as I've shown you before in my art videos, on top of this here, this layer, and just colour it like a white or a brightish colour or whatever colour, and then turn down the opacity a little bit, you see, like that, and that's on our canvas, right, one of the layers. It's just making it easier to see what we're doing. So if I was to make another layer on top of that now and start drawing stuff like a character, I can see what I'm doing better without this getting in the way. See, I have this like a thin tracing paper kind of like sheet, semi-transparent with the opacity set, see, to like 80 whatever, between these two, you see. And I was going to say, so with that there, if I go back onto my perspective now and double click it, see, now we can see better what I'm doing when I'm moving the camera or moving the things around, see, it's better, right? And I can turn off the canvas again, make it back to normal, or on, but it's showing it a bit better this time, right? Another thing I want to say is I've got this character selected here. Let's just delete that one because he's not right. Delete him. I've got these things here. I can add a plane if I wish to, as I say, which I can also move in the same way, holding the right mouse button and moving it up and down to move, or holding the left mouse button to move it around like this. You can also, don't forget, rotate and all the rest of it by doing certain things. I can build myself a house in some funny way. Okay, I'm going to delete that quick. I can also, obviously up the layers, the divisions and stuff like that too. I'm going to delete that. Just click back on this one here. I'm going to just get the camera. I don't really want to zoom in because it's going to change the perspective of the whole thing, because the background itself with the tree drawing is not part of the 3D thing, is it? It's just an image, so we don't want to mess it all up. We want this to be in accordance with that. You may want to make the 3D stuff be in accordance with the picture behind it, which is what I'm doing here, or you may want to do it so that you set your 3D stuff up first and then you draw whatever it's going to be based off of that. We're doing a bit of both really for our scenes. And what we're going to do now is we've got this selected, right? Just click off the camera, remember, to regain control. I'm going to click the select one, selected that. I'm going to go to the number of divisions along the long side. In this case, it's going to be along that y-axis. I'm going to duplicate that. That's like half the body of a human. That's where the waist is of a human. Now I'm going to click it again. It's like 3 times, right? Not too bad, but let's do it 4 times. So we've got 4, okay? Now for you, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move this closer to us. The move tool. This, okay. is one, and let's make another one. Let's just duplicate the layer quickly, the object layer. So now I'm going to move this one over here a bit further away, let's say, and now let's click OK, and then, you know, turn down the opacity of it, and it's clicked as off. Good, because we don't want to snap. If I set that on and click it here, then when our drawing lines on the next layer above this will just follow those lines of this building. It's okay if you're doing a building or something, a block, you know, but for this we're not doing that. I'm actually just trying to, excuse me, draw a character. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. We're in normal canvas mode, so to speak. This is really amazing when it's all in Firealpaca. Okay, this is not in Krita. What you could do now is you could probably export this and bring this into an art scene. You get me? So I mean, you could export this as a picture and then bring that into your another art software like Krita. But I don't to do better art. But I think the thing is, if you wanted to do that, or whatever, Photoshop or Manga Studio or whatever. But I was saying the thing is, if you wanted to do that, the thing is, this is pretty good anyway, Firealpaca, but it may not show these rulers, is what I'm trying to say. It may not actually show them. In fact, we can just do a little quick test to see if it does show it or not. I'm going to even bring up the viewage of that, bring up the opacity a bit stronger as well, just to see. File, export, save as, whatever. Let's save it onto my desktop. I'll save it into this folder here as a PNG image. It's okay. Okay, transparent background, yes. Okay, go there, then this there. What do we have? No, you see, it's not showing up, is it? Because it's only a guide, that's why. So how do you deal with that then? You can't really do it. The only way you could do it, the only way you'd be able to do it is literally use a screen capture software. I'm not going to do it here, but what you'd do is you'd bring this in. Okay, if you wanted to keep those in view, or maybe you wouldn't even need you may or may not need the visibility of the background. What you do is you turn off that if you didn't. If you wanted it, you keep it, you know. But what you do is you'd take a screenshot. You'd select this whole area. Won't be the perfect size, but it'd be okay. And then you'd save that as a PNG. Hopefully, or whatever you can. PNG is better, but you wouldn't need to worry about the actual sizing or the quality. What you'd do is you'd save it as an image to work with, and then you'd resize that image to be the size you want. So it's a screenshot of what you're looking at here, rather than, because you can't save it out as an image from here because it won't keep these in view. These are just tools. But it's about, you would save it and then you'd bring that into an art software. And you just draw on top of that on top of it, you know, on another layer, on top of your screen capture. But the thing is, a screen capture, you'd have to resize the image if it's not the right size, as I say. But it doesn't matter. You don't need real quality, so you don't need to worry about the quality of this so much, of these blocks. You're just trying to use them as a reference. Don't forget. And there's so many things you can do, different ways. But let's have a look. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Namely, before anyone says anything, I know you can do 3D in Photoshop, and I know you can do 3D in Firealpaca, sorry, in Manga Studio and stuff like that. Clip Studio, Paint, I mean, same thing, different name. And I know you can also do it in, obviously, Blender now too, with some drawing and stuff in there too. So there's a lot of things you can use, a lot of options. But I like Firealpaca. It's a great little tool. It's got these good features in it and stuff. It's pretty cool, you know. And Krita, you can't, in my one especially, you can't do it currently, it seems, 3D, but there are some really good features in it. But I want to say, you know, in Krita you can do some really good animation. I've showed how you can do animation in both Firealpaca and Krita, but you know, I don't know, I find Firealpaca is like simple to use, it's lightweight, it's like really good for your comic setups as well. You know, but yeah, let's just have a look now. Okay, so I'm going to go here, zoom in. Why did I divide this into 4 and size it the way I did this cube? It's like 4 cubes stuck together. It seems you can't really join the objects and like make them into one object, but you can do this. Plus you can only work with cubes and cubes and let me think about this. Yeah, position cubes and shapes basically. Cubes, cuboids, planes. You can complexly try to make a shape. Make a sphere would be very hard. But you don't really have to. It's not the point. It's a guide, so you're supposed to be like doing your drawing and art better, really. But what you do is you'd you know, you could make different copies of the layers too and move them, because you can't move the object of itself, you can only move the camera around it. So I could place a bunch of cubes or shapes together and make a shape, let's say like a table even, or any kind of shape, or a house with a pointy roof. And what I could do is then turn the camera, because I can't turn the whole house as one individual object, you get me? It's just a bunch of things together in place. So I can turn the camera around and zoom it in and out to give the illusion, but then I could copy that layer, this 3D perspective layer I'm saying, which is copying the whole thing again with all those bunches of things together which make the house, and then I would turn the camera again and get another angle of it, you see. Sometimes you see people use these cubes, these shapes here like I've got here, to place a character in position too, not only for scenery. So for example, you may come in, make some layers, come in here and just do a basic start point. You might do a head about here. Oh, sorry. Go, just turn it off. Turn off the snap first, so it doesn't snap to anything. Okay, because these are snap rulers basically. Do a head in here, see, whatever. Neck I'm doing here, shoulders, see. There's the rib cage going down here to the hips. Okay, not the best, but you know what I'm saying. And then you do the legs here. This is a halfway point. Okay, you see. So you got 2 cubes for the top half and 2 cubes for the bottom half. That's how I'm doing it, alright? And you'd have that there and these there, see? And you do that there. It's a bit smaller maybe. Get a rough character here, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, whatever. See, and we're going back to what we do best. So I might do like some woman or something, you see. Woman there, you know. Might do the body there. Some woman in a t-shirt is really rough. Really rough. Not the most amazing woman, but you get the idea. You know, and you want to do your characters and, you know, draw them in, you know. I'm not drawing the whole every detail here, but you get the idea, right? In your scenes. And then you turn off the visibility for that, and you work it all out, you know, and you draw your character in. And I can draw her in the scene there. See, you're turning that on so I can see what I'm doing a bit. Put the colours underneath it. Oh, hold on. Get another colour layer underneath that, you know. And I can start doing all the details under the sun, basically. See. If you feel like you want to do better art, you can, you know, just do a. Maybe she's standing in long grass, so I didn't draw the feet. Lazy me. All in blue. I don't know why. You know, and you could use, as I say, those correct stabilizer things if you wanted to make like nice clean lines. You know. Sort of there. See, it's way too light, isn't it? Colours are not very good either, but you know, got the idea, right? Go there. And as I say, you could like do that for a start off point, you know. I'm just going to give her a bit of a rim. The fuck? Go to protect alpha. Go to a bit of yellow. I'm not going to draw all the colours on, guys. I'm just doing a bit of fun here, okay? Just been a bit of fun. So I could do that, you know, and do the edges like that, you know. She's in the sun, let's say, okay. I'm just going to get rid of that quickly. We're not really going to keep that. That was just for to show you, yeah. Basically, what you could do. So, you know, as I say, when you're drawing your characters, there's different ways you can draw your characters too, as I say, you know. Different ways you can draw your characters. So I could go in here, start a character off, you know, do a light opacity there. I could just do it like that. I like to do that. Just gradually try and work it out, like basically position. I know that the legs have got to be from the feet to the waist. They've got to be the same kind of length, you know. From here, see, so if I do this, so I know the legs can't be that short, can they? Could be, depends what character you're doing. I'm just saying, like, you know, however the legs are bent, they've got to be like as if they were standing there. So you'd have it's not a bug. You have like the same length from the height. I'm saying, you know. Okay, so from here, what I do is I do that, and I do from here. I'd work it all out. So the shoulders are on here, the spine's kind of bent a little bit here. If I wanted it to be a woman, then the waist to be wider. A little neck, and I'll give a little. I'll actually do the neck in this time. I might not draw it in this order, but I'll do a smaller head, small shoulders. I'd work out the arms where the elbows are going to be. There's a slight point there. I know in my mind I'm seeing that. Little small hand where I'll work the fingers out as I go. Do the rib cage, you know, do the hips there, the little point in the middle maybe, and imagine where the middle of the body is too, not just the spine but like the front and the middle of the body. I've just try and imagine that in. Do this, a line underneath the armpits, you might put the boobs in there, the body's kind of curved, turned a bit there, the body, belly might be about there, and I'll work out the legs, you see, should be in position. If I think it's a little bit too long, I'll just cut it off there, you know, and just work it out, you see. And I'll draw the details like this on another layer. I'm just showing you quickly, like, you know, little net lines here for collarbones, whatever you call them, and then a neck. And you draw your character, you know. I'll get rid of my back one, as I say, you know. Turn that down. I'll do it much better than this, but I'm just saying, like, you know, the basic thing. So some woman in a dress, or a woman in a top there, and you know, with the neck part there. You know, I'm just doing it really like simple here. I'm not doing details on the hands or anything. I might put the knee a bit closer. It depends how I want to do it. See. Well, I'll do the face nicely usually, but I'm just doing it simple just to show you. See, just work your positions out. It's, you know, I'm not really great at doing anything really, but art wise, but you work it out. So the head's here, the head's here, the head's here. I might bend the body like that. I might do the body like that. I might work out where the hands are going to go. And one hand's here, one hand's here, one hand's here, one hand's here. One hand here, one hand here, one foot's here and one foot's here. The two, I might work out where the ground's going to be, like the ground's here, okay, the two legs are going to be down there, this leg's over here, well the foot should be about here then, that means, but okay, there. This is another leg, let's have another leg, foot here, okay, so that's there. You know where to put the shoulders, see, here, this goes there, there. 1, 2, see 1, 2 there. We can't see the feet because we're looking down on the character. It wouldn't be a ball either. You'd imagine the shape like that. You just work it out. Just visualise it in your mind. Visualise it, you know. And you draw over these shapes and work out the positions. Another thing I like to do is work with like triangles like this. So I'll do a shape like it might be a circle head. And I'll do like a triangle sort of shape like this. Whether I put the neck in or not, it doesn't matter. I might do the collarbones even, like make it go in a bit like that. See if I want to do that. Going into like a smaller waist, I might add a bit of a shape there for the waist, like it's a ball, and then from here another like kind of shape like that to show the hips. See, or I might go, or another way of doing that is I might imagine it to be like a square type diamond shape overlapping it. See here, so the hips go out and then that goes in. It might just not go down so much even. It might just go about like that. But it's like a triangular type diamond type shape. From here I do 2 triangles going down. There you see, and the same for the side. I can put little circles for the shoulder if I want, but I can just go like that, just do like little triangles there. Again for the knees you might just do little square diamond shapes or circles if you want it, or just nothing even. But from here you come out a little bit and then come more curved on the outside and more curving in on the inside. Like, there's a bit of a muscle and it goes in like that. Got fatter thighs, obviously. And this one here, another where the elbow is, and then going here. Okay, there, and then for the hands, you might do a little hand like that, simple like that. You see, square type shapes. You might go here, here, like kind of square, like diamond type shapes and triangles. You see, underneath the armpits, you have a line here. You'd imagine. You just erase that to show you a bit of a line. Here, see the start of the top of the breast if it's a woman. Wider hips for women. And you do these boobs in here. Whoa. You do the neck there, and you might rearrange where the head's going to go if you want to work that out. And the face, don't forget, you got this, you got the that sort of thing, a line in the middle to show where the eyes are going to go, and that. And what you do is you work that out. So you go from there. You might go going in, cheekbone or jaw, going down to the jaw, and then from there, you know, and you work the head. On the side of the head, there's like a flat side. It's not a complete sphere. There's like a flat cut off. On the side of the head like a basketball, so either side, and that's actually cut into four, and you've got the ear about there. This head I've drawn's a bit too like tall, stretched, but you got the idea. And you got the idea, and you go in there, it goes in a bit where the eyes are, out, and then down, up, and then up there. So that's like some fat boy or something. But you get the idea, right? And then what you do is you use that as a rough guide, you see. And you basically just got to work out where the shape's going. You draw on top, see. So you basically, for that, if I was going to do that, I might have like a blue, let's say. I would literally go in, do the shape, I might just do a diamond for the head. Just work out a few lines. Just work it out. So like, I'm imagining how I'm twisting these shapes up here. See, I don't even know, man. I might just do the knees first. I'll do these points. You know, or maybe just bend this one back. I've just changed that a little bit there. A bit of the back side showing as well. I've given a bit of a point to show that. This is the front of the body there. Okay, good. A bit of this bit down the back there as well. And then that. See, I'm just trying to work it all up myself now. And then that goes about there, right? Okay, and that's about there. Okay. And that's about there, you see, and this is there, just trying to work it up to the crotch, I'm going to do a bit of this, you're not seeing too much, just square for the hand. His hand's behind there, so you do the line wherever the face is going to be, like there or whatever it's going to be. I know that the character's looking there or there. You see, and then this will be there, this will be smaller because it's further back, that foot, this one's closer. And I go on top of that there, see, like that. And I'll do it so when my character's there, you can see. It's not perfect, but you can see what I'm doing, so. This is there, see, this is the arm. The arm there, and this is the fist. You know, I was going to make it a woman character, but I've just changed it a bit now. So whatever. And have the foot there, I guess. And then the foot's gonna be down. It's not perfect, it's not a good picture, but you get the idea, right? And then your character, it's not perfect as I've done it, as I say. Got the idea though, yeah. You can put your characters in. I mean, it's really rough how I've done that leg there as well, I know. Just trying to get better. It's just trying to practice really with your understanding, your basic understanding of anatomy, isn't it? Really, it really is. But definitely working with triangles like that helps, I find. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. And you can work with basic shapes. Like I could do the ground and then do a shape like that, or like one going back further back like that. You can work with that 3D perspective stuff we was looking at earlier on. And work it all out. Okay, there's a head there, there's a head there, there's a head there. This goes about there. Okay, I'm going to make it like that. I'm going to make this hip. I could make it like a diamond shape anyway, like that, see, because the back side will be there. Make one leg be there. You know. This one will be back there, see. And then put the characters, see, them here. I mean, this is the back of the character. Let's imagine now. I'm going to put this one like that. This character there, fighting with a sword or something, gonna blow off in our face. Okay, this one might be about there. I might even, for the torso, I might even do like a circle for the to show where the arms, where the sockets for the arm, the shoulders might go, and I'll put 2 lines there, whatever I want to do. Put lines in there. Okay, same for the hips as well. Got a bit down there. I might do. I might not always do that, but understand the basic thing. Just work it just however you want to. You know, triangle, just a bunch of triangles and shapes basically to get some basic shapes. I've just done some rough ones to rush in this video to show you, but you take much more time and work it all out. I'm going to be practicing a lot of stuff myself. Thanks for watching this. You take care of yourselves now. I hope you've enjoyed this big video basics, you know, Firealpaca basics seminar on some of the basics. There's so much you can do with the brushes, so many grids and other things in here, and wow, other stuff you can do in this too, onion skin mode and certain things. It's pretty cool, I will say that. I like this, and I like Critter. Thanks for watching. Take care.